morning, Concordia. Welcome on this beautiful Sunday, March morning. Welcome to those of you online and here in person. If you feel so moved, please join us in song. Good morning. Ooh, and it is a bright, shiny day. Look at that. Spring is here. So nice to see you. My name is Gail Yates. I'm the host today. And welcome those online and those in person and those that will review us later. Welcome all. So wherever you are on your spiritual path, you are welcome here. And I think all of you know that. And Concordia means harmony, where many hands and hearts come together as one. And so our mission is to provide spiritual tools for personal and global transformation. Transformation. Don't you love that word? Mm-hmm. Our purpose is to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence, an even better word. Mm-hmm. So welcome to all of our guests and our first-time guests. If you did not receive a packet from our greeters, please just let them know on your way out. So it's got some information on us and good reading. Nice magazine in there. And so I just want to call your attention to the cards in front of you. They're blue this month. And on one side is your information if you'd like to give your email and to get on our mailing list. The other side is our activities, and as you may see today, I think we have 7 activities to talk about. So there's always lots of activities that you can check off and let us know that you're interested in that. And most of all is the prayer section. So if you'd like a prayer for yourself, for your health, your well-being, whatever it may be, please do not hesitate to use this tool and write down what you would like, or a loved one, or just, a general for the world, whatever you'd like, please do that. And so they'll be collected when we do the conscious giving at the end of the service. Okay? And later on, we do have a little event downstairs that we will announce later on. We also have lots of food and coffee and tea down in fellowship, so please come down and we'd love to chat with you. All right, I think that is it. And Lisa will be downstairs to do the 1-minute miracles also for the prayer. So let's just take a moment and breathe and know that this celebration, this service, this glorious getting together is so blessed by the one perfect source, the one perfect, loving, divine God. And I know that each is receiving all that they need, and that our music team, our band, our audio-visual, our speaker, our hospitality, our greeters, and the wonderful hearts that have come forward to listen and be part of this celebration. I thank you. And together we say, and so it is. since January. And not a day went by that I didn't hold each one in my prayers in this space. It's so nice to be home for a little while. So I'm Lisa Conlon. I am your practitioner on duty today. Welcome to everyone in this room and those online. And I'm your practitioner all week. So if you'd like a call from me, check off on your connection card, have a practitioner call me, and just wait by the phone, because I'll get you. So staying in that meditative space, let's join for a minute in meditative contemplation, recognizing that it is only God, it is only love, and we cannot separate from it. It cannot separate from us. Like the fish in the water. It can't get away from the water. We can't get away from spirit. It's always right here. So as we move into affirmative prayer, please allow my word of truth and principle to be your word of truth and experience. Allow these words to wash over you and allow them to seed inside your heart, inside your thoughts. The purpose of this treatment is for me to know there is only one. And in this divine oneness, there is only peace, harmony, joy, and love. It is all good because it is all God. And I recognize and I allow this essence of life that I know is peace and balance and right and perfect action and good and greater good. It is divine purpose, plan, and flow. It is always here, always, always. There is nowhere that it cannot and does not appear. And I consciously unify myself with this truth. With hands open, my heart open, my mind open to the creative process flowing through me as me. It is my truth. And as I know this truth for me, I know this truth for each and every one, everywhere. Everything, everyone, every place is a creation of this creative process that we call God, Spirit, Source, the energy of life itself. It is beyond perfection. It is perfection. There is no separation. There can be self-blocks and self-separation, but it, the energy of life, sustains and supports itself through us and every single thing. Everything, everywhere is a creation of the creative process, ever, ever unfolding itself in the most magnificent ways. And in this seen and known wholeness of life, each one is buoyant, is supported and lifted in the most magnificent ways. Each one feels and knows the essence of life that is supporting itself through each human form and experience. In this flow, each one sees the clear path. It is light, it is bright, it is cleared, and it is right. And each one walks with ease and grace in the poise of the energy of life. Each one knows the oneness, the indwelling oneness that incarnates through each and everything. And with ease, we all see the harmony and peace and love, agape love, constantly doing its God love thing. God is life. Life is God. And each one is born of spirit. Each one is born in spirit. Each one is spirit born in human form, individualized, personified human form. This is the way it's done. And this is the way it is so. And for this knowing, I stand in gratitude. I stand in awe of how it's done without anything from me. It works perfectly. And I am grateful to be the divine co-pilot, the divine partner with the all that is, knowing that every single coincidence is a co-creation of me and God, of each and God. Synchronicities are magnificent, heard and responded to. I say thank you, Spirit. I say thank you to each one who stands with me in this circle, each one who hears this on replay, each one who says yes, yes to this and more. It is already done. It is already so magnificently. I release this word as law. And so I am, and so we are. Blessed be, and together we can affirm. And so it is. Thank you, Lisa. That was beautiful. Buoyancy. I like that word. All right. So it's my pleasure to introduce our Reverend Bill Marchiony. And I hope I'm not murdering his last name. Reverend Bill Marchiony is a co-founder and spiritual director of New Thought Philadelphia. He has been a practitioner since 2002 and received ministerial credentials in 2011 from the Emerson Theological Institute and earned a Doctor of Divinity degree in 2020. So he's the author of Practical Prayer for Real Results. That is a wonderful book. If you haven't read it, I dug for it. I do have it in my library, but I couldn't find one to show you the cover, so you know. And he's the creator of God's Calls and co-host of the Practical Prayer podcast. Reverend Bill is also the administrator of the affiliated New Thought Network and co-chair of the annual ANTN retreat at Unity Village. So let's give him a big welcome. And remember, if you can't hear us, we're going to do some jazz hands.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. It is so wonderful to be back at Concordia. I haven't been here in, it seems like forever, and that's probably because it's been forever. But life unfolds. So, I just wanted to say happy springtime. So spring snuck up on us and started about 5 o'clock in the morning on Thursday. And you can already see the stuff that's changing in the world around us. The flowers are threatening, the buds are promising, the grass there's a hint of green that's just even now starting. So then there's more to come. So you guys may have heard that we create our lives according to our beliefs. We create our lives according to our beliefs. And the question that I have for you is, how's that going for you? Is the life that you're living right now exactly the one that you want to be having? Are you like right there where you'd like it to be? Or like other people, are you maybe experiencing an area where you'd like to have something a little bit different? So this is in a lot of ways going to be a get back to basics talk, because we've been talking about this, creating your life according to your experience, your intentions, for an awfully long time. But when we come to the experience where we're not enjoying the experience that we're currently having, there are a couple of things to do. And the first most natural thing to do is to blame somebody or something. on the reason that our life isn't going the way that we want it to. Perhaps it's to be hopeful about maybe it could possibly get better. If we take that whole thing about you're creating a life according to your beliefs and you're realizing that the life that you want isn't the one that you want, the same thing can happen. Well, all right, is my belief to blame? Am I to blame for this? Is this my fault? How dare you? And that's one of the big things that I find that people who are new to new thought push back with, because they immediately take it to blame and fault. And that's especially true when people are making a transition from a more traditional religion, where the notion is of God out there someplace, who is listening maybe and will possibly do you a favor if you ask nicely enough or promise to behave yourself properly. And if you don't get what you're praying for, it's because God didn't want you to have it. And that is not true. The infinite creative power that creates everything only has one answer. It only says yes. And it is saying yes to our belief. So if you are getting an experience that you don't like in your life, then it's not about blame. It's about understanding that that's what's happened in your experience. That's something that's planted in your belief system. It's not your fault. It just got there. That's what it is. And it can be very helpful to have the things that you don't want to have in your life show up so that you can go in and uproot them and change what's in your belief system. Seems so easy when I explain it that way, but the work is actually all done in consciousness. You guys know that. The key piece in consciousness, which was discovered when the New Thought philosophy came about, is based on affirmations. And affirmations actually work. Affirmations have been very effectively hijacked by the self-help community. And an affirmation is where you claim something that you want to have in your life, and you repeat it to yourself over and over again, and that newness shows up in your life. And affirmations are wonderful. They actually work. They actually change our life. If somebody's going along having an experience where they don't have a relationship and they say, I have my perfect loving relationship, then it is completely possible for that perfect loving relationship to show up in their lives. And isn't that wonderful? We're opening a channel in consciousness to allow that new belief to come into our consciousness and let the new experience come into our lives. And that is wonderful. Somebody's going through their life and they've been having challenges with their finances. They can claim, I am prosperous. I am prosperous. And repeat that over and over again. I am prosperous. I am prosperous. I am prosperous. And then there's a transformation in their experience of prosperity, and suddenly there's enough. What we're doing with that is we're opening up a channel in consciousness to allow that infinite creative power that creates everything to create something new for us. And affirmations, as we know, are best when we apply what I call the 4 Ps. And this is detailed in the Practical Prayer for Real Results book. By the way, somebody asked me, what's the difference between a practical prayer for real result and a spiritual mind treatment? And the answer is nothing. They are exactly the same. A practical prayer is a spiritual mind treatment. However, what I noticed about 20 years ago is that when you have people who are meeting at a lovely community like Concordia, and the people who've been there for a while got together, and we're having a conversation, and a newbie was listening over their shoulder. The 2 people who've been there for a while said, I was having such an issue. So I went to a practitioner, I got a spiritual mind treatment, and I manifested a demonstration. And their friend says, oh, that's wonderful. And the newbie says, what the hell are you talking about? What it comes down to is there was a language barrier. The reason Ernest Holmes called it spiritual mind treatment is because when he did that, they didn't know if Western medicine, allopathic medicine, or homeopathic medicine, or osteopathic medicine, or faith healing, or spiritual treatment was going to be the way that healthcare went. So he tried to position it so that it sounded scientific. So that's why he used spiritual mind treatment. And it worked for its time, but at this point, people get the notion when they first hear about a practitioner doing a spiritual mind treatment of somebody in a lab coat reaching into your brain and changing something, and there's a little bit of a distancing from that. Plus, it doesn't clearly say what it is that we're actually doing. So a practical prayer for a real result is the sort of thing that when you tell somebody you're going to do that, there's no pushback, there's no confusion, there's no, what are you talking about? It seems pretty obvious. Anyway, the payload, the middle part of a spiritual mind treatment or a practical prayer, is that realization step, the affirmation step. Goes in the middle of the prayer. And that one works best when we apply the 4 Ps. And those 4 Ps are, it's got to be powerful, positive, personal, and present tense. And when we are speaking very clearly, this is something personal, I'm claiming this for myself. And it's not sort of fluffy, someday maybe I'll have this wonderful. This good is happening now. We want it to be powerful. So we want it, and this good is happening for me, personally. We want it to be present tense. So I'm not claiming that something good is going to happen. I'm not claiming that I'm going to someday have enough money to pay the bills. I'm not someday going to have a relationship. Because someday is always in the future. I'm claiming that I have it now. And sometimes our analytical mind says, oh, you can't claim it now. You don't have it now. There's not enough money to pay the rent right now. There's nobody, it's another weekend. I don't have anything planned. Where's my loving relationship? So what we want to do is in our affirmation, we want to claim that it's on the way. This perfect loving relationship is on its way to me now. This perfect person, this perfect match for me is even now looking for me, and our paths are in the process of coming together. So that's the 4 Ps. We want to be personal, powerful, positive, and present tense. And affirmations work beautifully, wonderfully, powerfully, until they don't. See, what happens is when we are opening a channel in consciousness, it is possible that channel is going to hit a rock. It is possible that there is something buried in our belief system, in our consciousness, that's going to get in the way. It is possible that when I claim that I have my perfect loving relationship, my belief is that I am not worthy of a perfect loving relationship. I have never had a perfect, wonderful, harmonious, loving relationship, and I have been at the distance for it for so long that I can't believe that I could possibly have it. And it's that belief that the universe is responding to. That's what gets brought into our experience. If I claim that I have plenty of money to pay the bills and to spend and to share and to save, and my belief system is that I am impoverished, nobody in my family has ever made enough to rub 2 nickels together, nobody has anything, it's always going to be a struggle, I probably have to borrow the money to make the rent again. That's what's operative. That's what's operating in our experience. So what we want to do is turn that affirmation into a spiritual practice. And for that, we make it into a practical prayer or a spiritual mind treatment. And I'm going to go old school on the AV here. That's the abbreviation for practical prayer. RUR2GR. Are you ready to get results? And it's actually the steps that are in the prayer. And you guys probably know what they are. Recognition is the first step, where we turn our awareness to that infinite creative power, that divine presence, that one source that shares itself as everything. It's God itself. It is the creative power that creates it all. And if you don't like to use the God language, then the Big Bang is the same process. Everything basically came from the Big Bang, and it's been unfolding and evolving ever since. And since that's all there is, then the next letter is the U. That's unification. Where we recognize that infinite creative power abides within. That is the truth of me right here and right now, because it's the truth of everything. So I'm not asking God outside me to do something for me. I am aligning myself with that infinite creative power and allowing and inviting it to create something through my life. And the next R is the realization step. That's where the affirmation goes. And what happens when we do it that way instead of just the affirmation? He said, well, it's the same affirmation. What's the difference? It's because we have identified a much bigger team that we can be on. We have turned our awareness over to that infinite creative power that creates everything, and we have put ourselves on that divine creative team and say, it's creating everything. It's creating galaxies. It has created everything that exists everywhere on this planet, every particle, every person, every place, everything. It is not possible that infinite creative power does not have the ability to create my perfect loving relationship, or can't come up with the rent money for the first of the month when that shows up. So that helps us understand and reinforce our belief system. If it's not possible for me, small me over here, who's always had a challenge with these things, to do it, I know that God can do it. And I've got my God alignment and teamwork on to make that happen, to invite that in. And because RUR2GR is like the anchor point of the Practical Prayer for Real Results book, that's what's on my license plate. My license plate is RUR2GR. Every once in a while, somebody will notice it and say something about it, and very rarely do they get it right. I was driving down the street, and the guy in the next lane over rolls down the window of his pickup and says, "Greek, are you too Greek? Are you Greek too?" No, but hey, nice try. And on Friday, I was in a parking lot, and a guy was looking at the back of my car. He was getting into his car, I was getting out of my car. And he says, he got really close. Are you ready to greatly something or other? And I said, that's really close. I told him, are you ready to get results? And then I told him that it's basically the formula for a practical prayer, an effective prayer. And he immediately wanted to inform me that he's not religious. He has some issues with religion. I was like, okay. That's cool. He said, "Are you a minister?" I said, "Well, yes, I am a minister." So, and here I am having a parking lot ministry going on with a guy. And he's got a couple of problems with religion. The first one is with Abraham. Why would Abraham did God tell Abraham he has to kill his son? Isn't that just cruel? I mean, he didn't make him go through with it, but that's just mean. And I said, I see your point. And he said, and the virgin birth. I mean, that's a really great story, but I know what happens if you have your way with a woman against her will. There's a word for that, and why would that be okay? It's like, yeah, I see your point there too. And I said, the Bible is a wonderful source of insight, and everything in the Bible is either metaphysical, metaphorical, or historical. And he kind of nozzled, and I said, and they're not labeled. And we had finally found a point of agreement. No, they're not labeled. Because the Abraham story and the virgin birth story are all metaphorical. It's about being willing to surrender what has been important up until now, and it's about being receptive to something that is completely new and different, and being able to bring something different into experience. But I wasn't going to have the rest of that conversation. I got him to the point where we didn't disagree, and then he got back in his car. The reminder there, though, is that everything is possible. Anything is possible. This is a universe in which anything can happen. And interestingly, when things happen, they show up in the world around us, and we get to experience them through our five senses. And the five senses don't have anything to do with our consciousness or with our connection to that infinite creative power. Our five senses only show us what's going on in the world around us. They do not illustrate that infinite creative power and the way that it is created. They do not let us know directly what's in our belief system, other than showing us evidence of what's showing up in our world. And if that's the outpicturing of the result of our beliefs, then that's the way we can figure out what's going on in our belief system. I spent a fair amount of time at Unity Village, which is the largest property that New Thought owns in North America. It happens to be where the affiliated New Thought Network has been doing the annual retreat in October. I'm going to do a quick shout out for the Anton retreat because it's going to be even more spectacular this year than it is every year. It's the bringing together of all of the New Thought organizations. Centers for Spiritual Living, Sonny Cantrell-Smith is going to be there again. Divine Science, the Universal Foundation for Better Living. It's at Unity Village, so Unity World Headquarters and Unity Worldwide Ministries are there. So it's a coming together of the people from all different New Thought organizations, and we find out what we have in common, which is this understanding, this deep knowing that we are creating our experience according to our beliefs. And I think it's kind of interesting that Missouri, their state motto is "Show Me," and that's what's on their license plates. So here we are at Unity Village in Lee Summit, Missouri, where they're saying "Show Me," and we're believing exactly the opposite. It's not "Show Me." The "Show Me" is the last piece of it. That's where it shows up in our lives. The truth there, the metaphysical truth, is we want to look beyond the appearance so that we can invite something new and suspend our disbelief. We want to create something new in life, we have to suspend our disbelief. You want to know what your beliefs are? You know how you can find out what you don't believe? When there's something that you want to have that you believe you can't have? Do the first 3 steps of the prayer. Turn your awareness to the infinite creative power that creates everything. Know that that creative power, that divine essence, is the truth of what you are. And then claim that goodness that you're looking for. I have my perfect loving relationship. And then shut up for a second and listen. Because if the little voice in your head says, you're not going to get a date, that's what you believe. You have teed up what you want to experience, and you're listening to the response from your belief system. And if that voice is saying, there's not enough money to pay the rent, you can't possibly get over this physical illness, this pain in the shoulder, or whatever it is that you've been experiencing, if that voice says it's never going to happen, that's your belief. And you're not punished by hearing that that's what your belief is. That's actually a gift. Because now you know what's in your belief system. And then you can change it. Once we find out what's in our belief system, we have the opportunity to change it because it's not permanent. My friend Robert D. McDonald has 4 questions that he likes to ask that are incredibly helpful in getting through this process. The first question is, are you happy with the experience of life that you're having now? It's a yes or no question. And if you answer yes, then you're done. Go after your life. And if the answer is no, the second question is, what experience would you like to be having instead? And that is the pivot. When we turn away from the darkness and the shadow of what we don't want and turn to face the bright light possibility of what we do want, that's the pivot. And that's huge. Because so many people, I can tell you this and you'll say, yeah, I know people who do that. Watch in your life this week the number of people who like to talk about the problems and continue talking about the problems and over and over and over again want to tell you about the problems. And you commiserate, oh my gosh, yes, grandma is on life support, and I understand how horrible that is for you and how difficult and challenging it is. And now what? Pivot. What do we want to have happen instead? You want to have grandma live forever? Well, you stretch the timeline out 100 years. Grandma's going to be gone. So somewhere between now and 100 years from now, something's going to happen with grandma. And wouldn't it be more productive to say how we would like to feel as that's going on? Again, turning away from the darkness, the situation, the circumstance. And it's very real. It's very real. Turning away from that and saying, what do I want to have instead? Once we've done that pivot and identified what it is we want to have instead, that's when we get to set up the purpose of the prayer. And it might be a new purpose of the prayer that we were in the middle of doing when we found out our belief system was objecting. Or it could be something brand new. And that's that second question from Rob. What's the experience I want to be having instead? And you don't have to say this is the specifics and this is how much money I want to have, or this is the sort of person I want to be going out with him or her. You don't need to be that specific. The question is, the purpose is, how do I want to feel? What do I want the tone and texture and flavor of my life to be once I have that? And once we identify what that is, then that becomes the basis of the prayer. We then go back into the RUR2GR, turn our awareness to that infinite creative power that creates that feeling, that experience, the things that lead to that experience, and then unify with that, know that that's part of us, and then do the affirmation, do the realization step, and call something new into our experience, and then see what happens with that little voice. Interestingly, it usually doesn't say yes. Sometimes it does. When it does, it's great. When you get in the middle of a prayer and you're like, oh, this is it. This is the truth. I'm speaking the divine word right now. That's really powerful. If it doesn't say anything, that's okay too. As long as it's not objecting, then you've opened that new channel. You have cultivated a new way for your life to be coming about. And the good is at hand. And that happens in lots and lots of different ways. People are talking now about how we are living in challenging times. And it's interesting, if you go back and look at self-help books from 100 years ago, or 50 years ago, or 20 years ago, they all start with, when we're living in challenging times like these, which isn't to negate the challenging times that we're living in now, but it's like this is not a brand new thing. We use the same process with that. What we want to do is we want to open ourselves to a brand new possibility, And one more shout out, we're having a listening event this evening. It's going to be on Zoom. You can find it on, I think the easy way is to go to the New Thought Philly website, newthoughtphilly.org. And there's a lot of teachers from around the country who are going to be facilitating this Zoom gathering. And we're not going to solve any problems. We're going to talk about the challenges and the difficulties and invite Spirit to guide us into something new. Because that's our job. That's our responsibility, is to open that channel to allow the infinite to create something new. Maybe there's something for us to do. Maybe there's a step for me to take. You know, I sit there on my purple pillow and I say, I have my perfect loving relationship. And an inspiration says, go to that concert tonight. And I say, nah. I can work against it. It's completely possible that there's a perfect relationship was ready to bud at the concert. So our good is at hand. Just to finish up the last questions that Robert D. McDonald has is, the third one is, once you have it, how will you know that you have it? And this is really scientific and analytical, because if I say I want to be happy, okay, how will you know you're happy? You know, I want to have my perfect loving relationship. How will you know that you have your perfect loving relationship? Because you'll have somebody else's shoes overnight in your closet? I mean, whatever it's going to be, identify what that is. I am prosperous. Once you're prosperous, how will you know that you're prosperous? Will it be because you have $25 in the bank, $25,000 in the bank? Do you need to have $25 million in the bank? What does it feel like to have enough to cover the expenses and then some? Identify what is it that you want to be having. And the fourth question, which we'll save for another time, is what's keeping you from having it now? And yeah, that's a whole different section. So I just join you in knowing that good is at hand, even in these challenging times. Good and more good is at hand, because that's the way the creative process works. And to finish up with the G and the R, I am grateful to know that this good is unfolding for each of us individually, for all of us together. And with that knowing, I can release this truth and know that good is at hand. And we are all blessed. And thank you so much for your time today. Thank you. It's wonderful to be here.
Thank you, Reverend Bill. Wonderful. Wow. A lot to think about. So now I have the news you can use. Oh, no, do I not? No. No? Okay.
You're supposed to sing.
Go sing. This next song was written by our one and only John Terratz. He wrote the beautiful lyrics to this song, I Am One With God.
And Christine Wilbur was the pianist who wrote the
Yes,
music.
with the music to
Yeah,
his
I was
beautiful
wrong,
words.
Christine. This is for you. Our good is at hand.
I'm an eternal personal statements. They did do 5-step treatments, but today they're going to be doing their personal statements. So, a transformation journey for teens is being honored today, right downstairs after fellowship at 11:30. For the last 6 weeks, our group of 16 teens from across the country have been part of a special CSL Beyond Limits class developed for teens by the CSL Seattle practitioners Rosemarie Palmer and Sarah Lauren. The teens completed an official CSL foundational course to formalize and begin their journey into science of mind. Jonah and Xander, who happen to be my sons, lost my space. We have been part of Concordia's family since 2018. We actively participate in the teen camps, and these two actively participated in this course. They read Ernest Holmes's This Thing Called Life, and they read From the Inside Out by Reverend Dr. Adriette Earle, and they wrote 3 powerful treatments focusing on love, oneness, and wisdom. Today, we honor their transformation by witnessing them present a personal statement about who they are. So I hope to see you all after fellowship downstairs. Thank you.
And the expo that is going on right now, Rhode Island Holistic Health Association. Yes, so that is from 10 to 4, and it's right at the Crown Plaza, and we have a table there. A few people are missing, and they are at that table right now. And also Roland Comtois, if you've ever not seen him, you have to see him. He's speaking, I think, at 1 o'clock, right? Powerful. And many interesting tables and things to buy and things just to experience. So if you'd like, just drop on over there. And Women's Circle.
Good morning. So this coming Friday, the 28th, from 6:30 to 8, all of the women are invited, and bring your friends to enjoy our beloved Jody DiGiulio, who's in the back right there. She will be guiding us in deepening our intuition and learning to listen and hear our intuition better. She'll be leading us in several practices to help us with that: meditation, muscle testing, spirit guides, and things of the like. So please come and join us, and as I said, bring your friends. And then also, everybody brought some Science in Mind magazines for us to take over to the expo, and we would love to continue that trend. If you get the Science in Mind magazine and you're thinking about getting rid of them and not keeping the clutter of them, please bring them here. We use them for our guest packets, and we would love to continue spreading all the information that is in the magazine. So whenever you get a chance, please bring them here. Thank you so much.
What is next? Oh, spring fundraiser concert. Our own Lisa Medley and the band. And it's going to be a fantastic night. It's April 4th, Friday night, starting at 7. But get here early. We'll have, so after this fun, beautiful event, downstairs we have desserts and coffee that are part of the ticket. So if you buy a ticket, you get to come down and have all kinds of desserts and coffee. And raffles. We had a fundraiser a little while ago, and the raffles are wonderful. The baskets are wonderful. So please join us. If you have any questions, I will be at the host desk downstairs today. Ayurveda night, that is on April 11th, myself, it's 6 to 8. And Ayurveda is well, it's the oldest medical system in the world, actually, but spring, according to Ayurveda, is the time that our body actually cleanses beautifully itself. But I offer tools, or Ayurveda offers tools, and I pass them on to you on how to do this more efficiently, to feel better after maybe the winter sluggishness, any additional moisture, weight, or any brain fog, anything at all. Please join me that Friday night. I'll have some snacks that you can try that you might want to incorporate into your life. And also we'll talk about our cleanse that we do every spring, so we'll be going into that. And it is a love offering, so it's free, and it's a love offering if you'd like to give something that night. All right, new class. Pam, host. Okay. That's right, she is. Consciousness in the Creative Process, so that's Wednesday starting April 16th. And this is 6:30 to 8:30 in person. And it's $150, led by Pam Padula.
I believe it's partly the study of trauma.
Oh, yes. The Edinburgh lectures, wonderful. So it is part of the consciousness list. If you need a fulfillment for a consciousness, or you just have an interest in taking it, it's great. Pam's a great teacher, and you'll really enjoy it. So, yes, any information is downstairs for that. Thank you.
And it's me again. You know, we talk about all kinds of spiritual practices here, journaling and meditation and prayer. Another practice we do is circulation, and that's what we're going to do now. We as people, humans, we think that we'll give as soon as we receive first. But that's not who we are. We are conscious and enlightened beings of living spirit, and we know to activate the law, we give first, and then we receive. So here's the opportunity. Greeters, if you could come forward, please drop anything you want in, cash, checks, you have the little white card in front of you. We can also take it on your credit card. And also, if you want to text, 401-466-4454, and we appreciate anything you give us. And if you could join with us in our affirmation, divine love, ask me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I saw, and all that I circulate. And so it is. Thank you to the band. Thank you to the musicians. Have you been blessed today? Do you feel better? You're taking some seeds out that we received. Thank you to Reverend Bill for all the wonderful thoughts and words he had for us, and just gave us so much to move forward in our day and our week. Don't forget 1 Minute Miracles downstairs. If you would like a prayer crafted for you and whatever you're going through, just ask me. We'll go in the practitioner room and we'll go into prayer and we'll take it into existence. If you would like to do prayer at Concordia, CSL.org, that works also. And you'll get a phone call or you check off on your connection card. And after we leave here, the next group comes in, CFC, Church of Christ comes in. So everybody join us downstairs for nibbles and conversation. And we'll get to talk a little more and visit. So just standing in the gratitude, knowing that there is this and so much more. I say thank you, Spirit. Thank you to each and all as we move forward into our week. Just a better person, a more clear person, and a more clear channel for the energy of life to flow through us as us. I know it is already done and it is done well. I say blessed be. Amen. And together we can affirm. And so it is. So it is. And one more song. Woo!
might hurt my eyes. And something without warning gets heavy on my mind. Then I look at you, and it was alright with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely birthday. Seems impossible to face when someone else instead of me always seems to know the way. When I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Girl, just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be seems impossible to face when someone else instead of me always seems to know the way. Then I look at you, and it's alright with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day.
Thank you, Concordia. Have a beautiful week and, of course, a lovely day. Those of you online, thank you for joining us and in person.